Stop podcast surfing. You're in the right place. I've always wanted to sing. Hi, everyone. I am your host, Kimbralon B. I'm a licensed counselor, but I'm not your counselor. And I'm also the host of Good Tea and Reads. So I created Good Tea and Reads so we could use everyday topics, issues, and current events to explain the importance of mental health awareness. Most mental health discussions are so important because so many people suffer in silence or do not realize that they're dealing with mental health issues because of stigma, society, and family expectations, and other reasons. Some episodes on Good Tea and Reads are heavy and will make us think. Other episodes will be very enlightening or refreshing. But either way, you will have an awesome experience. Here's the disclaimer. Any information shared on Good Tea and Reads is not a substitute for seeking professional care from another professional. Any information shared on Good Tea and Reads is not meant to diagnose the subjects or persons discussed on this podcast. Also, any information shared on this show is for conversational, inspirational, and educational purposes as well. So, all right, this intro is long enough. All right, so go grab your cups really quick. Go, 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 go. So I can pour this piping hot tea. Meet me inside on this episode in one, two, three. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to an episode of Good Tea and Reads. I am your hostess with the Most-est, Kimbralon B. So excited that you're here, everyone. I'm so excited because the holidays are almost here. I'm not sure if you celebrate them or not, but hey, I always think of it. If you don't celebrate it, okay, it's still time off from work. And hopefully you'll utilize that time for self care. But me, this is like my favorite time of the year. But you guys, let me tell you, it was a struggle for me getting on here doing this podcast. Let me just share what's going on behind the scenes. For one, as you see, I have on contacts, right? Because I try to be presentable for the show. I'm trying to avoid the little ring lights that you see from showing on my glasses. But because I have on contacts and I'm at a mature age, I refuse to say the old word. So I'm at a mature age that I have to have reading glasses on. And it took me forever to find my reading glasses. I don't know how many of you all out there are over the age of 40, but when I went to the eye doctor a few years ago, right? And the eye doctor gave me the talk. And the talk that I'm talking about, if you're over 40, you can relate. If you're not over 40, I guarantee you, you will get the talk. And the talk goes like this. Well, your eyesight's not the same. You are now over 40. So we have to think about reading glasses, or we have to think about bifocals. The things I swore up and down I would never do. But guess what? I'm at that age and I am doing them. And I had to find my reading glasses, everyone. So now I'm back on track. Now, the second thing that I'm struggling with at this mature age is that it's kind of dark on this side. And me, with my lighting, I don't really know how to do it well, so I'm just trying to sit right here. So I'm probably giving you all like big face, those that can see me, because I'm trying to stay in the light. I'm recording in the dark. So it's just a struggle, y'all. And this is why I'm looking for sponsors, somebody that can hook a sister up, because I got everything strung here, strung there, over here on this side. Yeah, it's a lot going on. So I just wanted to throw out all of my logistics. So you're probably wondering, okay, you said your name, you said the name of the show. What is all of this about? Uh huh. Yeah, I'm glad you asked. So I'm getting ready to tell you. So, Good Tea and Reads is a show about mental health and how mental health is present in everyday topics. So, I am a licensed counselor, but I always like to say that I'm not your counselor because I don't know your specific information. So I can't give any diagnosis or any strategies. You will have to pair up with somebody that's closest to you that can know what works for you and what doesn't work for you, and they can create a plan. But by me being a licensed counselor, one thing that I learned was that not everybody make it to me. They don't make it to the counseling room because of stigmas. There's shame. People may think that I'm crazy. It's all kinds of things that they may say. Or it could be financial reasons, or it could be, I don't know where to go. So I decided to take my show out on the road. So I do speaking engagements, I go out in the community, but then I went back to an old pastime and I decided to do a podcast. I was doing something similar to a podcast about 4 years ago, and I was able to reach so many people. But the podcast platform allows me to reach millions. So make sure you subscribe and share. Had to throw that in. So I do cover everyday topics. Some days I have special guests that join me in the studios, and sometimes you get me by myself. I do my solo act. And sometimes I get a little selfish, right? I like spending time with you by myself. Sometimes I don't want to share the stage. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. But no, there's times that I just wanted to share information with you. And sometimes at night, I may get this unction to just jump and just throw out an episode on something that's going on. All right. So I like to throw this disclaimer in case you skipped my wonderful, beautiful disclaimer. So any information on Good Tea and Reads is for conversational, inspirational, and educational purposes and does not substitute you getting a higher level of care. So I like to share information on this show that you probably aren't aware that's out there, or you probably have overlooked when you're trying to go to other interesting articles trying to get that type of tea. But on here, we have good tea, and tea merely means information. Any information about a subject matter and how mental health ties into it. So the reads part comes if I actually review a book, meet with an author, or take information out of a book pertaining to mental health, and I share that with you. So at the beginning, I ask you to grab your cups because I have this piping hot tea. So today, I want to talk to you, viewers and listeners, about the holiday blues. Ooh. So at the beginning, I did my ho, 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 host Kimbralon B. So it's tying into the holiday blues. And I better not quit my day job. I better not quit my podcasting job because comedian is like not on that list. Okay. But I thought today that we would actually talk about holiday blues because those that do celebrate, Thanksgiving is coming and Christmas is coming. And usually this time of year brings cheer to some people, and some people it actually brings sadness. So I thought today we would chat a little bit about holiday blues. And I may do another show about seasonal depression as well, because I think both are really good to talk about. So let's talk about managing those holiday blues. But you may have a question about holiday blues. It may sound familiar, like, okay, I can tell that this is sounding like, something I should look out for is blues. It's sounding like it's a little sad. But to make sure that we're all on the same page, I want to share a definition on what are holiday blues. All right. So I took this article right from a website. You will actually see that website in the episode description. And I know some people may be like, Kimbralon B is reading somebody else's stuff. I do. Because why recreate the wheel when there's valuable information out there? And chances are the average viewer or listener is not looking for these articles. So actually, I just read them verbatim and I just throw some of that Kimberlon B in there, right? So, holiday blues are feelings of sadness, isolation, low energy or motivation, or feeling out of sorts during the holidays. So it's really simple. And if you think about it, some of us can really relate to some of those symptoms that I just shared. So if this describes how you are feeling right now, or may feel when the holidays start, just know that you're not alone. This article says that nearly 90% of U.S. adults said they feel stress this time of year. And we all can relate to the type of stress you may feel. You know what? 2025 has been really interesting. This has definitely been like an emotional roller coaster, I think, probably for everyone. And we're doing this episode right after the government shut down and it was just reopened. So the holiday blues may have started pretty early for those that was impacted by the government shutdown. We may have felt this way and we're not even thinking about gifts. We're not even thinking about what type of cookies we're going to make, but we were thinking about just making it day by day. So imagine if 90% say that they feel stressed and you're adding in a government shutdown and how funds and monies and paychecks have been impacted, travel has been impacted. You can only imagine that on top of the other stress people are feeling. Okay. So you could feel this way because of the financial constraints that I mentioned, or you may have other financial constraints of your own. For example, you may be taking care of additional people. You may have had an unexpected expense occur. You could be missing loved ones, whether your loved ones live far away or you may have lost your loved ones. This year is a really tough year for me, everyone, because I lost my mother and my father this year. So I'm trying to be more aware about the holiday blues, about seasonal affective disorder, grief, all of that. So I'm trying to navigate that. But one thing that this counselor know is that I can't do it alone. So I have supportive friends. I have a therapist out there. I pray. I do it all to just make sure that I stay level. All right. It says worry about family conflict. Usually, some families may have had some type of conflict earlier during the year, or usually in the holidays, it seems like conflict arises from preparing for the holidays. What type of gifts are you getting someone? You got me the wrong gift. I want to do Thanksgiving. I want to do Christmas at your house or this house. It's all kinds of conflict that can happen. Holiday blues is different than being diagnosed as depressed or having anxiety because the feelings aren't as long lasting or as severe as those that are associated with a clinical diagnosis. So, this is very good for us to know. And I want to share with you, y'all, I had to get my phone. I didn't know where my phone was. Okay. Gee whiz. Okay. So, I want to share with you some of the symptoms of holiday blues. So it's temporary. It typically resolves shortly after the holiday season ends. So it goes away. Usually it starts around this time, a little bit before Thanksgiving, and it seemed like we be going until at the end of the year. And sometimes it goes into the new year. And then that's where we vow to have that fresh start. The cause may be the specific stressors related to the holidays. We talked about financial strains, we talked about conflicts, and the end of the festivities. Holidays typically bring people joy. During the holidays, if we haven't experienced anything that brings us sadness, we're usually really happy. We're singing, we have holiday music blasting through the house. We love it. It even seems like people are like super extra nice in stores. However, when it ends, it seems like it just goes back to another day, another Monday, another Tuesday, another Friday, right? It just seems like it just goes back into that regular routine. And some people have the blues because they don't have that feeling that they had when the holiday was around. And so the severity symptoms of holiday blues is typically mild, right? We may feel that way, but we able to just go on and carry with our day-to-day activities. And so what are some of the symptoms? What does that look like? It may look like sadness or our favorite thing that we probably experience all the time, stress, anxiety, loneliness, or a general letdown after the holiday. Those are some of the symptoms. And you may say, wow, some of those symptoms sound like depression and anxiety. And it does. If you look up the symptoms of both online, you'll probably see mirrored symptoms. However, holiday blues, please, if you don't remember anything else, remember that it is temporary. So we're able to just go on and do what we need to do. So, what are some of the triggers and causes of holiday blues? I'm glad you asked because we mentioned some earlier, but let's go in and break some of this down, okay? So, unrealistic expectations. So, people have expectations of what the holiday should be. If you celebrate and you think about the holidays, what do you think of? That could be getting together at a family member's house. It could be this. You could actually fill in the blank. And usually, your ultimate goal at holidays, as I was mentioning earlier, is to be happy, bring joy, all of that, right? I don't think any of us say, womp, womp. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to bring anyone joy. Bah, bah, humbug. I'm sure that we don't say that, right? I mean, we may feel that, but I'm sure that we don't say that. And that's not what we anticipate for the holiday season or for any day. So there's an intense pressure to do everything related to that holiday and to do it perfectly. It has to be done to the T. And you could be feeling down if you come up short, and it could take the joy right out of the season. So if you have your expectations and it's super high, and one thing goes wrong, that string of lights on that Christmas tree does not light up when you plug it in because, y'all, it is always that set. If you're like me and you recycle lights that are for the tree, that first year, it is amazing. So you put everything up, you wrap those cords up, you do it well, you store it, and when you pull it out the next year, you set up the tree, You put those lights back on, because if you're like me, I refuse to buy lights every year, but that's my personal. If you do it, that's good, but I refuse to do it. But the minute I plug it up after I strategically place the lights on the tree, yeah, there is a string of lights that will not light up. And I'm like, talk about holiday blues. I want to yell sometimes. All right. So the next trigger or cause of holiday blues are overcommitting to season events. We want to do this, that, go here, there, promise, promise, promise. We want to do it all because we have this short time frame to do all we can. Everything is happening, and I have this to do list, and I got to accomplish everything on that to do list. So many people create this to-do list and it's long. So you want to go do things, but ultimately you may want to host. Some people move into new homes and they want to host the family there. So we're going to host. We're going to go here. We're going to do that. We're going to attend this party. We want to go here. We want to go shopping there. We want to drive up north to snow. We want to drive down south to go here. We just want to do it all. And so we overcommit. And next thing you know, we're stressed. We are stressed. Other triggers and causes of holiday blues is time spent at home. So many people stress over family time and they worry about potential arguments or tense conversation. Now, everybody, I'm kind of leaning in on this. So, viewers, you can see me leaning in. It's always that one that comes, right? We bring everybody to the house. We want everybody there because the holidays kind of represent unity, right? And we're getting together. Time is of the essence. But we go the extra mile because we want to invite that one because that one happens to be a part of our family. So when that one comes, we don't know if that conversation about politics is going to arrive or the debate over religion. You're celebrating the holiday, tree, no tree, this, that. You know, everything that sparks a debate. Sports are on. Some people cheer for this team. This is the family team. Why are you cheering for that team? So it's just trying to prepare for those arguments. Hashtag you can't. Hashtag I can't. That's what you have to remind yourself. You know, you trying to plan and trying to figure out if we talk about this, if we do this or this happens, the potential argument can happen. Trying to pre-plan for our argument, it sounds good, but sometimes it may not be effective, right? Because where we think there's going to be a potential argument may not even be one. It may go okay. But next thing you know, you're cutting this turkey and someone's cutting against the grain and all heck breaks out because somebody makes a comment. And if you can do it, you can do it better. And next thing you know, we got chaos, right? So you didn't see that coming at all when it happens. So sometimes you can set the stage and probably set the rules. Hey, we're not going to talk about A, B, C, or D. But then there's always that one that may sneak it in or may go through the back door, I like to say, and bring up a subject without bringing up a subject. And then next thing you know, an argument ensues, right? So it's hard to plan for it. Again, you could set rules, but just know overthinking it only creates worry, angst in your system. And we haven't even had the dinner yet. The holiday hasn't even came yet, but we're already planning for this. And that can cause that stress and that anxiety one could feel. Stay away from certain conversations, but just know if they happen, and if it comes up, just be prepared to exercise boundaries or tell everyone to take a time out. Triggers or causes of holiday blues also includes um, time to reflect on what's missing in your life. Usually these holidays are at the end of the year. And we usually reflect during this time because the new year is coming. Like from January to October, what did I accomplish? What did I do? I set this goal at the beginning of the year to do X, Y, Z. And now in October, I completely forgot about it. I completely spaced. I didn't even move towards that goal. I didn't even make the mark. And now I'm like, I have wasted this time. I didn't accomplish nothing. I've wasted this entire year. And when we reflect on that, we usually don't feel good reflecting on that, right? Because we don't think, wow, I didn't hike, but I did get on my treadmill 3 times. We don't think about that. We usually flip it the other way. I've only got on that treadmill 3 times, but I didn't go on that hike. Like, I didn't do anything towards my health, which really you did. Sometimes when we're reflecting over what's missing on our life, we have to celebrate some of those small successes, and they may be very small. They may be meaningless to someone else, but guess what? It can be meaningful to you. So celebrate your small successes. So instead of saying, I didn't go hiking 3 times a month like I said I was, but I got on the treadmill. Reframe that like, "Hey, I didn't make those hikes, but you know what? I was so proud. I'm proud of myself that I actually got on that treadmill and ran. It was only 3 times, but that's okay. It's better than no times." Let me give myself a pat on the back. So, when you're reflecting, don't only reflect on things that you didn't accomplish. Sometimes we do it like, wow, I didn't accomplish this. This is the end. It's not the end. You have another year to do it. You have a lifetime to do it. As long as you still here living, you have time to accomplish those goals. Okay? All right. Financial worries and commercializing of the holiday seasons. So, between gifts, hosting large dinners, there is no shortage of opportunities to spend money during the holiday season. This is the time that we spend money because we want to make sure our children have gifts under the tree. If we don't have children, our fur babies, or our relatives, or our close friends, or ourselves. We want to make sure we have something under the tree because in the world, that's what Christmas is all about. It's about gifts, 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 gifts. You got to make sure that you give the right gift. Some people don't want gift cards because they don't feel that it's personal, right? So some people want gift cards because I'm tired of you giving me the same neck warmer or the same foot massager every year. Nothing wrong with that if those are your go-to gifts. But I'm just saying some people will complain about it, okay? They do. When you go to the stores, the little perfume scents, the bubble bath, everything that you see, all of those gift sets, right? We got to make sure that we get something that everybody likes. And sometimes we go above and beyond what we have in our bank accounts to make sure that this season goes well. Some of us will take out loans to buy gifts, and we're okay with it because everybody's happy, the kids are happy. But when the new year starts and the first loan payment starts, usually we don't feel happy if we haven't managed our money well enough to pay that back. And it can cause stress after the holidays, which can aid in those holiday blues. Changes in your usual routine. That's a stream of holiday parties and late nights mean that you're likely to eat and drink more and sleep and exercise less than usual, which can leave you irritable and unprepared to deal with stressors. It happens, right? We got to get to every party. We just talked about the overcommitting. We got to get there. We can't let anyone down. We want them to come to our event. They have been so good to us throughout the year. We can at least show our face, but we show our face, we're feeding our face, and we're drinking our face. And then it's like, oh, then we have to get up like and go to work. And I feel so bad. I feel like crap. It happens. Yes. All right. And the holidays also align with the seasons changing and daylight hours shortening, which can lead to feeling down and sluggish also. I've noticed like around the 5 o'clock hour here, it starts to look like dusk. And then I start to feel like really tired and I'm yawning. Mm, and I'm sleepy. Yes. And that can add to the holiday blues too, on top of these other triggers and causes that are related to holiday blues. So, who gets affected by holiday blues, you might ask? Glad you did. So, the holidays can get anyone down, anyone, no matter your age, gender, race, sexual orientation, or socioeconomic status. Anybody can get the holiday blues. So even those with no history or anxiety or depression might find themselves feeling just sad, down, out of the blues, right? Still, those with underlying mental health conditions are at the highest risk of having holiday blues. What can we do to help with holiday blues? Glad you asked again. We can set boundaries. This is with ourselves. Setting boundaries is one of the best things you can do. It was a game changer for me. This almost sounds like a public service announcement. If someone wanted to hire me to be a spokesperson about setting boundaries, I would do it in a minute. So setting boundaries mean to know that it's okay to decline that invitation. We don't have to go to every party. We can go to the parties we want to go to. We can prioritize the parties, or we can leave early when we want to. We can minimize how much we eat or how much we drink if we want to, or we can just abstain from it all. Prioritize what you want to do. And we can learn from the past holidays. When we overcommitted last time, when we were hosting, when we were going here, what went right? We could think, hmm, but what went wrong? And whatever went wrong, let's put some stuff in place so it will not go wrong again. And also, we can maintain our usual routine. So we can try our very best, even though it's the holidays. We're like, yay, it's the holidays. But let's try to keep the same routine that we utilize January through October. I know it's easier said than done, but usually we stay pretty mellow. You usually do not experience any holiday blues January through October. And then talking through your feelings. That's something that you want to do. It's okay to talk through your feelings. How are you feeling? Are you feeling down? Are you feeling a little sad? Find that supportive person to talk to. You can even come see a counselor like me and talk about how you are feeling. And that's perfectly okay. Remember, even though it's temporary, doesn't mean anything's wrong with you. Sometimes you just need to have that someone to talk to. Limit your time on social media. Sometimes we see our friends and other family members, and they are doing it up for the holidays. They're over here doing this, doing that. And sometimes we may want to get that keeping up with the Joneses, right? And what that means is if I see family doing this, if I see friend doing that, I'm going to want to do it. And I'm going to do it by any means, or I'm going to try to one up them, which means I may go out and take that loan that I have no business doing. But I want to one up them so I can put my pictures on social media so they can see that I'm outdoing them. Sticking to a budget. Plan your budget for the holidays. So once you get through the holidays and you see how it went and how everything goes, maybe plan right then after the holidays. Start to plan January through October. It seems like a majority of us do not think about the holidays until they are here. And once they are here, we're trying to find money to make sure that we can take care of everyone. Start putting money back January through October. You can open up a holiday account. I think they still have those. Yeah, I think they do, where you can stash money. You write your list. Who am I going to buy from? It's hard to buy for little kids because where we think they want this year, they may want something by the end of the year because these people strategically put out commercials. So everybody, I want this, I want that, I want blah, blah, blah. They always want it, right? And if we try to get it and store it in January, shoot, by the time October comes around, it's going to be another thing and something else somebody wants. Because you pull out that whatever they asked for in January, they may say, I don't want that. I want blah, blah, blah. If we start to save money, we will have that money in place. Yeah, so consider just creating an account and putting money back so you won't have to be jam packed at the end of the year trying to buy gifts and trying to figure out where you're going to get a lot of money from to buy lots of gifts. Focus on realistic and meaningful expectations. If it's going to cost you a lot financially, to host the family dinner, especially if you just purchased a home, then it's okay to say, I'll prepare for next year. If someone else is offering to host, you just made a big investment into yourselves. Some people are okay once they make that investment. Some people aren't. And if you're not, that's okay. You just made a major purchase. If someone else wants to host, please let them host. And you'll have an additional 12 months to get your house together so you will be in a position to host. And it takes off stress. And you're able to go to that person's house, sit there and enjoy the holidays. Because usually after you make a major purchase, you offer to host and you just moved in. Now you're making a mad dash trying to put everything up. You're purchasing extra furniture. You're having to purchase extra food. You're having to purchase another television because the men in the house are going to want to watch football and all kinds of sports. And the women are going to be like, no, we don't want to watch it. And they want to watch something else. So you got to have everything in place. So if you're not at a position to host, that's okay. Always remember there's next year. And then I mentioned plan ahead. Plan ahead for everything. If you want to host, that's great. If you want to buy gifts, that's great. If you want to go on a trip, that's great. If you want to visit families and it require you to go here, go there and purchase things, then plan, budget, right? It's nice when you plan ahead so you don't have to wait till last minute. All right. So we talked about how to cope with the holiday blues, but sometimes we may need to get help dealing with the holiday blues. How will you know if you need help to deal with the holiday blues? Glad you asked that. Um, for most, holiday blues will subside once you get back to your usual daily rhythm. That means after the holidays is over, we're going back to work. Everything is in place. The feelings that you have, as I mentioned, are temporary and they should go away once the holidays are over. However, if you feel that you're still navigating some bits of sadness, low mood, energy, you may need to talk to a healthcare professional. For example, if you're irritable, you're exhausted, you have trouble eating, trouble sleeping, and the symptoms are still going on after a few days, you may have to go talk to somebody because this could be more than holiday blues. It may actually be depression or it may actually be anxiety. And the only way you're going to know is if you go talk to a healthcare professional. And it's okay to just stay in and just process anything related to the holiday blues, anything that you're dealing with, any feelings you have, any situations you have, any situations that may have arisen from the holidays. Again, as I mentioned earlier, even if it's from the holiday ending, you can talk to counselor. Counselors are a neutral space for you to come and talk about what you're dealing with, what you're going through, and we just help you process. It doesn't mean that you can't handle your feelings. It doesn't mean you shouldn't host another party again or you shouldn't buy gifts or you shouldn't celebrate. It doesn't mean any of that. All it means is that it's a place for you to just come share how you are feeling. That's what we're there for. If you have a supportive friend, talk to them too, as long as they give you that neutral place, meaning that they're not trying to say, "Hey, you're going to be okay," they cut you off or whatever and you're not able to talk or they're judging you. Well, maybe you shouldn't have went out and got that loan. You need a neutral person sometimes. So if you have that neutral person in your life, please go talk to them. But if you don't have anyone that's neutral that can just let you sit there and process, then please see a counselor or a therapist near you. All right. This has been amazing. I just wanted to jump on and talk a little bit about holiday blues. I will come back to talk about seasonal affective disorder, which is otherwise known as SAD. It's a form of depression that one can get during different seasons of the year. I want to come back and talk about that. I know this has been a lot of information for the show today. I want everybody to just process this information. Well, you have been great. Awesome. This is your ho, host, Kimbralon B. I will see you next time on another episode of Good Tea and Reads. Have a good one.